Need some pre-episode bullshit to talk about.
Hey guys, have you ever done drugs?
No.
Drugs are bad.
See, like,
Okay.
this is going to be released publicly, right?
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not go there. I mean, no.
Yeah, this episode is all about, Reagan's war on drugs. Do you remember the Dare theme song?
I've tried to forget Dare as much as I could. No, I don't remember the theme song.
Oh.
I also, like, everything about Dare was terrible. I mean, like...
Did you have the shirt?
I had the shirt, but, the year that I did Dare was the year that we had the really shitty shirts. Like, they were just, like that year's shirt was, like, extra short. And it was, like, 5th grade, so it was right before we all hit growth spurts. So...
It really shut off your midriff?
Yeah, and, I was a fat ass, so it was, like... So it wasn't midriff, it was, like, I mean, like when really big football players, like their gut doesn't fit in the jersey.
Yeah.
It was like that, except I was a 10-year-old and I wasn't a football player. Oh my God, this is terrible.
So, how's it going, guys?
Now we're talking about the Dare program. You remember that? Did you have the year of the shitty shirts too? Like, you remember the shirts the year that we were in 5th grade and we did Dare?
I don't know. I just remember never wearing the shirts.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Draco Funk that the shirt, like, our shirts were like, it was the year that they got the shirts that were like extra short. So like, if you weren't a short kid, which nobody was where we grew up because everybody was, big, like we're all tall around there. Like your belly hang out of the stupid shirt, like even as soon as you got it. And it's, the age where everybody's growing fast. So it just got progressively worse. And like I remember, like, I keenly remember, like, the only thing I was looking forward to, as like a 3rd or 4th grader for Dare was getting the damn shirt. And then the shirt comes and it's like the year of the fucking horrible shirt that doesn't fit. like it made me want to do drugs out of spite,
Like, you can't give me a shirt. I'm gonna do crack now.
Yeah, I'll show you. Like, I didn't just have a muffin top, I had like the damn Wonder Bread loaf top out of that thing. It's terrible. Dare. Stupid.
Never look me in the eye, now look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk, but I'm cold.
Hey Internet, this is Highway 47.
Hey Internet, this is Highway.
Hey Internet, this is Highway 47 Productions here.
Those things. And we are watching Star Trek The Next Generation today. Season 1, Episode 21, Symbiosis. I am leaving all of that in. This is Shaggy B, and I am here with Draco Funk.
Hey, I'm still sick.
And Scrodrick.
Hey, I'm eating. You.
But you're not eating Carl's Jr., so you can't say it
Carl's
that way.
Jr. You, I'm eating.
Yeah. And we are watching, as Draco Funk informed us, the Star Trek episode that checked the box off the list of things that President Reagan wanted to happen on TV, which is Symbiosis. What can you tell us about this episode, Draco?
It has the IMDb rating of 6.9.
That's... yeah.
It aired 16th April, 1988.
16th of April, 1988. What were you doing then?
I was recovering from that year's April Fool's prank that was pulled on me.
Yeah? What happened?
Oh, that's where they amputated my arm and I had to regrow.
Right. Okay. On April 16th, 1988, some Israeli commandos killed the PLO's Abu Jihad in Tunisia. That's the first thing that came up on Wikipedia for April 16th, 1988.
And my job is calling me, so I'll be right back. You guys continue.
All right. So Draco Funk.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Something about drug addiction.
That's probably exactly what I was going to say. The problem with drug addiction is it's a difficult subject, and we as members of modern life, of the millennial generation and so forth, are kind of surrounded by it, and it's pervasive. It's there was a cultural perception, around the time when this was made, that drug addiction was something that happened to undesirable people. And that if you were caught up in it, clearly you were a bad person, and it was not always explicitly said, but it was very much the tone of PSAs and everything else. So I hesitate to joke too much about it, and I hesitate even more to ask questions like, what experiences do you have with it? Because as much as I like me some good edgy humor, like there's some things that I don't really want to joke about. So I'm not going to ask you a question about getting addicted to drugs.
As I take a cough drop.
I will tell a story about sort of a not quite an addiction, but certainly an experience. I very briefly in college smoked cigars. And that's a stupid idea for a lot of reasons, but it's particularly stupid for me because I am legitimately actually allergic to tobacco. Like, like they've done the clinical tests and I have like actual significant allergic reactions to tobacco that last for, quite a while. When I'm around even secondhand smoke, I notice for like a day or two that it's harder to breathe, and that's just from like my, lungs and tubes and stuff swelling up from exposure to it. But I did smoke cigars briefly, and I'll tell the story why. And the story, which I don't think I've told on this channel before, revolves around someone I went to college with who was the star linebacker on the football team. And I'm not going to say his name, but I will say that we always addressed him by his first and last name because he's the kind of guy that you didn't want to get his name wrong. He was huge and strong, and he liked to drink. And when he drank, he got angry. And he got angry and drunk a lot because he had this girlfriend who liked to call him on the phone and yell at him all, particularly when he was drinking. So, all of that added up to a dude that was angry a lot. Big dude, real big dude, like, 6'4", built like a tank sort of guy. I knew him because he lived with 3 other guys, and all 3 of the guys he lived with were music majors. And I don't know how they all ended up in the same place together, but they did. Like, I once witnessed him in the heat of an argument with his girlfriend on the phone, literally slam a door hard enough to knock the frame out of the wall.
Okay, good. That's not a story about me. Hey. I'm back.
How did you know? Yeah, so this guy, huge angry drunk, right? But he lived with the guys that I like to party with. So, so we'd get together and drink beers, and he would get progressively angrier, and then he would, go insane. Well, I figured out that the best strategy to deal with this guy would be to become his best friend, right? That's how you handle these people. And I learned that he liked to smoke black and mild cigars when he was drinking. So I did what any person of reasonable intelligence who was not quite smart enough to like not go get drunk around this guy would do, which was I started carrying a pack of black and milds and a lighter. And whenever I was around him, he started to get mad. I would say, "Hey, big guy, let's go out on the porch and have a smoke." And I would never say anything to him specifically. I would never start a conversation. I would just stand outside with him, and we would each smoke a black and mild. And before long, I was his best friend. It took maybe 3 times, and we'd be out there, and he'd be bloodshot eyes and kind of stumbling around and smoking his cigar, and he'd grab me by the shoulder and almost pinch my arm off without realizing it, and be like, "Man, you're a good guy, man. You're always there. You know how to cheer a guy up. Hey, just being there for a friend." And like literally, I would never say anything or do anything. I just, when he looked angry, I'd offer to have a smoke with him. That's all I would ever do. So this went on for, I don't know, a month or 2. And through the course of that time, I smoked maybe the equivalent of about a pack of Black and Milds. Like I didn't ever smoke them on my own. I just, when I was around him and he'd start to drink and he'd get angry, I'd have one with him. That's all. And I started getting cravings.
Ooh.
Just from that.
Well.
So, yeah. And so I, right away, like I was like, whoa, I need to stop this because I will get addicted to smoking cigarettes or smoking anything tobacco like that fast. So that's really my closest that I can relate to this episode experience with like a strong, physical addiction to anything. And in fact, I had cravings for tobacco for like years afterward. It's been over a decade now. And, it's probably within the past 3 or 4 years that I have not actually caught myself wanting a cigar at all.
Ugh.
And that's even stemming from all the way back from then. So, it can be powerful stuff. And even that little experience makes me think, if that is that strong, if tobacco is that strong of a pull, then something more addictive like narcotics or, hard stimulants or something, like imagine how much worse that has to be.
Oh, definitely. So. Tangentially, I had a job where the smokers got one additional break over the non-smokers. So I started carrying a pack of cigarettes, and I would let other guys bum cigarettes off of me so I could get an extra break at work.
Yep, and I certainly don't blame you there. I wonder how long it's going to be before smoke breaks really aren't a thing at all in jobs anymore.
Were we talking about addicting things then?
Yeah, we were talking about. And for those at home, Scrodrick had to step out for a second, but I had mentioned that I hesitate to ask a question like, "What experience do you have with drug addiction?" because that's such a sensitive topic. But I decided to tell a story of my own about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm addicted to caffeine. If I do not have caffeine, I get a horrible migraine, and I'm talking like sensitive to light, nauseated until I have caffeine.
Right.
It's serious stuff, so I can only imagine what it would be like on something more powerful than caffeine.
Right. And I guess that's true. Like, I don't know that I've ever, I mean, I have had periods in my life where I built up a strong tolerance to caffeine. But I've never experienced that I've never experienced withdrawal from it, physical withdrawal. I've experienced like being kind of grumpy, and maybe a little bit sluggish and run down and feeling, like vaguely hungover from not having caffeine if I'm used to having high doses several days in a row. But I've never had like the headaches, kind of thing.
I can get woke up from like a dead sleep by caffeine withdrawal if I didn't have any caffeine like later in the day before I went to bed. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Hey, let's start this.
All right. So, with my clock up in front of me and not in a tab where it shouldn't be, this is Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode 21, Symbiosis. I'm not sure if I said the name of the episode yet. It's Symbiosis. And we're watching it on Netflix, which, Draco Funk, you should tell them what that means.
Hey, that means you should get the episode queued up, ready at 0. If you start it and have to rewind a little bit, that's okay. And get ready. We're going to give you a 5-second countdown, and then you can start and watch along with us.
All right. When we get to that skimp intro, when we get to the theme song, don't push the button that causes it not to happen. All right. I think that's it. So here we go. Season 1, Episode 21, Symbiosis. And we are starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Now they're only going warp 2.
Yeah, that is definitely an improved star effect from the original. That seems like a good idea.
Worf's like, I don't want to give up this station.
Yeah, he had a taste of firepower.
Wonder who's chief. Is Logan still chief engineer?
He got fired after the last one. Why does their screen have the capability to project light that bright?
It's ultra high definition. It's real definition.
Like why would you build a TV that can literally blind you?
You need that full experience.
Guess.
Magnetic.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so is my face.
So is your mom's face.
I wouldn't look at that if I were you. No! I think that's actual footage of the sun on the screen there.
Tasha hasn't said anything.
Oh yeah, we all just got X-rayed. Because, you know, moving in closer to X-rays, that's good.
You know, the last time they got blue electricity coming through the consoles, it literally convinced the captain that beaming himself into space was a good idea.
You know you're around the wrong planet?
Yeah. Warp 2 that close to a sun? Later in the series, they declare that to be a really terrible idea.
How about you get on that helm?
Warp 3, maybe?
Hey, don't hit that skip intro button.
Oh.
You don't want to
skimp the intro.
Yeah.
Sit here and take it all in.
Yeah. While the train rumbles by my house.
Good timing.
Yeah. It's going fast enough that the house is shaking.
I haven't gotten any more work calls, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Just watching the ship fly by.
Yep.
Sometimes we have things to say during this intro. Apparently not today.
Well, I was thinking about work because I've gotten calls from them twice tonight.
I was literally staring off into like the other screen of my computer, just zoning out for like 30 seconds there. I just like, Symbiosis. Oh, hey, David's in this episode.
Yeah.
David Kirk. Or
Is
David Marcus.
Isn't Joaquin also in this episode?
I think so, yeah.
Whoa.
Now.
He's totally taken Tasha's job.
Where did she go, actually? Oh, there she is.
They're just doing that double team thing that, like, you know, CSI or whatever does now, where like two people start typing on the same keyboard because they're getting hacked and it helps, you know, if there's two people.
I've never seen that, but I really want to now.
I think it was NCIS that did that, where two people started typing on the same keyboard because it
Gotcha.
helped them hack or something.
I'm Dr. David Marcus.
Yeah. This is things that broke, man.
Man, I'm so confused as to what show I'm on.
We need things that make us go.
And our shields have been down, so we've been exposed to a bunch of X-rays.
That explains the Dane bramage.
Yes. Nah. No.
Haven't you attended the Academy lecture on conserving tractor beam power? They're behaving like everybody who's done a drug in the 80s. Man, who knew X-rays would interfere with tractor beams?
How dare we have the proper equipment to maintain our ship?
What do you need? A screwdriver?
Yeah.
That will make you go, yes.
Worf, send him some champagne.
It's reminding me of Norm MacDonald.
He really is.
How?
Right. How do we do that?
Hey, guys.
Man, this just screams everybody. And what, Scrodrick, you missed while you were indisposed. You missed our conversation about how during the Reagan war on drugs era, like there was this strongly implicit message about how people who use drugs were lesser quality people than everybody else.
Yo.
And this just screams that, like, you know. Like it wasn't just cool kids don't use drugs. It was like,
Wow, she just like kicked the transporter chief out of there.
she did, yeah.
Only f***ing losers use drugs.
Yeah.
Don't you know how to fix it? It's never come up.
Well, I remember being scared to death the first time I had like a full drink of alcohol, like one beer, being like, this is going to change me forever. And then, realizing later that that was a stupid idea. Oh.
uh,
Their next fix, man.
We want to share with you.
Yeah. Yeah, they slipped LSD into like the Halloween candy that they sent over so that you get addicted to it. The thing that's never happened ever?
yeah.
Merge them all into one being.
Yeah. Kablamo.
We got 3.5.
He's missing a leg.
Yeah.
It is Joaquin.
It is. It totally is. Planet of the Blondes.
How do they get David and Joaquin on here?
Unexpired contracts with Paramount.
Oh.
You gotta deliver the goods, see?
Yeah, you shock me, I'm going to shock you.
Oh,
Oh, you
freaking
shocked
taser
me right.
hands.
Tasha's right there.
Late as usual.
Brig.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Isn't that like right off the bridge?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Safest place on the ship. Kind of like a fist.
So let's take him to the observation lounge.
I am walking down a hallway like a...
I am a human walking down the hallway.
Yes, member of crew, normal Starfleet officer, just like other humans on this ship.
Plan for the future there.
If only there was some sort of electromagnetic disturbance that might get in the way of their powers.
I wonder if their insurance will cover that. They were up to date on their ship insurance, weren't they?
I'm sure.
Drug users aren't responsible enough to have insurance.
Oh.
They're bad people, remember?
Because of drugs.
Because of drugs.
So wait. Are they pre-warp?
Yeah.
Uh...
Prime directive. Yay, more drugs. I kind of wonder how they got their eyes to be so bloodshot, like their eyelids.
It did a bunch of drugs.
They had a production assistant just blow cigarette smoke into their eyes right before shooting.
That actually, it was the 80s. That could have been it.
The actor that played David, I don't know. I have no idea what his name is in this episode. Like, he died shortly after this.
Ugh.
Yeah, I didn't know when he died, but I knew it was. He was surprisingly young.
He didn't get enough Felicium and went through withdrawal and died.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was only 30.
Yeah.
Damn.
How did he die?
I don't know.
Okay.
Freaking arrogant augments.
He died of toxoplasmosis and AIDS.
Ah,
Yeah.
You got there about the same time as I did. Yeah.
Can't get her sick.
man, this isn't a fun, infection like the last time.
Yeah, really.
She needs to speak to you in private.
Yeah.
Seriously, she doesn't know what withdrawal looks like?
It's the future. All of the bad people who do drugs aren't around anymore.
yeah, they all died.
It's like they rubbed pepper into their eyes or something.
Did the other guy die of AIDS too?
I don't know. I don't remember his name. It's a pretty loaded statement there. The most sympathy we get for them. Hey, orange juice. Looks pretty good. So, do you like orange juice with pulp or without pulp?
No, I could take it either way.
Yeah. What about you, Draco?
I swallowed wrong. Hold on.
Must be that pulp.
Yeah, it must be.
They want to be reasonable.
We want to be nothing if not reasonable.
If your customers die,
Or, lose their need for the medicine.
Yeah, since you guys are sitting here drinking our orange juice, no charge.
Yeah. That was easy. Hey, it's a portrait of that freighter at that planet. Did you see that on the wall?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a part of a turbocharger.
Or a distributor cap.
Yeah, it looks more like a distributor cap. On purpose. It's an interesting name, too, Felicium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was chosen deliberately from the Latin. The Latin root meaning happy or fortunate. Same root as Spanish feliz, like Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas.
Right.
It's like Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Detroit.
Yeah. Like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh doesn't do that. I've never been to Pittsburgh, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple times.
And you're still alive.
Anything there worth seeing?
I woke up with a ferret in bed.
Well, that's all the story I need.
He stole my shoes. Now she realizes.
Yeah.
They were all crack babies.
Not crack babies, heroin babies.
Uh-oh.
Tonight on an after-school special, Star Trek The Next Generation. Say no to alien racketeers. I wonder what diseases actually have been cured by opium on Earth. Like, I wonder if there are any.
Well, not anymore.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, we don't know.
Don't you take your daily opium?
I mean, no.
How are you still alive?
I don't know.
Man, you need to go have some research done. You're a medical marvel, man.
Quick, get me some fentanyl. Unless they're really, really weird.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Can you make us go?
Man, did you talk to Morgan yet? Who taught that guy how to tie a tie?
They might seal something.
Yeah. Look at that. What is that? Like, just wrapped some pantyhose around his shoulders and tied it in. Well, back to work. This is where Data puts on sunglasses when we hear rap music start. You know directly. You took over the ship when you were high.
And, got what you wanted.
Yes, you talked to the captain about how strange you felt and how confident you were. What's more, there was no price. There was no hangover. There were no consequences. You weren't even punished.
Yeah, Yar did a robot.
Yeah.
You just got the...
Damn it! We'll talk about this in the future.
Argument number 753 for the Naked Now not being episode 2. Oh, hey, I'm in a painting. What?
Got the stuff? The ship blew up.
This really is a tough spot for the crew. Like,
Yeah.
what is the right choice?
Oh.
Apparently that is.
Right? He's like, bad touch.
2 episodes in a row, Riker's been frozen in place by a random energy field.
I did not consent to this.
I feel like he's having too much fun.
Yeah. I want to start like reciting the Declaration of Independence. Like just random memories start pouring out of his mouth. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal and with certain inalienable human rights.
Oh man, that was the best.
Everything just tastes purple for a second.
Huh.
It's the same planet as last episode, but red instead of green. Pancakes.
That was awesome.
Wait, I didn't want to stay here alone. That guy just like froze
Zap me
me.
again, please. The hell game is that? Yeah, you do.
Hmm.
That's how. It's like they finish each other's.
Yeah.
Things.
Oh, man. Guys, really? uh.
Ah ha ha! Work's calling me again.
Tell them they interrupted a professional development session about drugs. It's a parasitic relationship.
I'm not going to tell you. I wonder where they got his space overalls.
I cracked in. God, what do the like housing look like on their planet?
It looks like looks like Detroit.
Wait, brains
What?
jobs? We can't brain.
Not interfering.
Yeah, it's a stupid law.
Yeah.
We all know that.
You're gonna feel like for like a few months.
Yeah.
Imagine a whole planet.
And heroin withdrawal.
You'll be fine, but you will murder those other people before it's all over.
Beam the cargo out into space.
Oh.
Was she just waving before the door shut?
Yeah,
Like
she
Tasha
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was her literally saying goodbye.
Gotcha.
It's like a broken leg, it heals. Not hurting.
That I'm going to.
Break when convenient. See, I finished your sentence. Suffering leads to anger,
And anger leads to hate.
and hate leads to fear. No,
And fear leads.
to hate.
And hate leads to.
Suffering
And suffering leads to.
leads to hate. No,
Ye-
to fear.
Get the hell out of here.
This
Everyone on both of those planets, we are better people because we don't do drugs.
Or sell drugs.
USA.
Let's all pretend that Nixon didn't start this as a campaign of racism and just enjoy our privilege.
Haha.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, taking off at warp speed.
Yeah. Well, that was preachy, but honestly, honestly, I riff on it a lot, but I like that episode. Believe it or not, it is very much a morality play, but I think it actually does a pretty decent job. And the more I was watching it, the more I started to think it does a decent job of painting more than that one after school, special kind of dare kids not to do drugs perspective on the whole thing. They show some sympathy for everybody involved. The dealers really become the villain more than which isn't always true in these sort of preachy things. So for a Reagan era war on drugs propaganda film, it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. It left with a little bit of like, hey, maybe we should just let them sort their own thing out. You know, like, hey, if you're smart enough to get your freighters running, you know, then you're back in business. But you'll see that, you know, you don't need the drugs after all the horrible pain you'll be going through.
Mm-hmm. The only kind of problem I have with that resolution is if we look at it through the lens of a morality play, right, which is where we kind of started this whole thing. The Prime Directive is a really convenient way out.
Well, the Prime Directive says I can't do anything about it, so f*** you guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really convenient way to just say, you know, well, fine, screw you guys. Like, we're not going to help you. Like, you know, you got yourself into this, so you know we're just going to go be better people somewhere else. There's a grain of compassion, you know. There's the doctor feels for them, but for everyone else, it was very hands off. Like, we don't want to touch this at all. And that's not to say that, you know, at times that isn't the right choice. I mean, you can't let yourself get dragged down with, you know, people who are really, really into serious problems like that. But I wonder if there wouldn't have been a higher moral ground to take, you know?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I only run into that stuff professionally, and, you know, I can't get personally attached because that would be very bad.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah, and I do too, to a less immediate degree than you do.
Yeah.
You know, if yeah, you know, it's less of a clear and present situation in my case. But yeah, it's very hard to stay detached from it. You know, and in our personal lives, we've all known some people, you know, who have had real trouble. And it's kind of the, you know, I've had several times where I've had conversations with people about this sort of thing that boil down to, you know, you can open up your world to someone and give them, you know, some shelter from a lot of things, but you can't let yourself go into their world and start fighting the same battles they're fighting. So, you know, where's the balance between that? And I don't know if they found the right balance in this episode, but I don't know if they had a better option either.
Well, and it's really a hard area to get into.
It really is.
You know, I'm not a man of infinite resources, so I can't exactly, you know, save someone from themselves.
Exactly.
They have to be willing to, you know, do their own part.
Right. And that last part there, you know, they have to be willing, even if you had infinite resources, you know? So So I don't know.
So yeah, now that I'm thinking more about it, now it's hitting more closely to home.
Yeah. Well, we hope you enjoyed that episode of Star Trek with us. And Merry Christmas!
Yeah.
On a lighter note, though, their administrator that had the weird like tie thing that like went around his neck and then like under his arms. Yeah. I really would like to get everybody together someday for like a party where we have to dress up, but in Star Trek formal attire from any alien race. You know, that was an administrator of some nature, so you know, I would assume that's fairly dressed up for them. But
we should probably make a no Betazoid rule.
No.
Oh.
No, because we know Draco Funky would show up as a Betazoid.
Exactly. That's exactly where my mind went to, and I want to go there.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking that exact same thing.
Yeah. We do need to get him on as a special guest one of these days.
We do, like, man, and you know, he watches these episodes. You know who you are.
Yeah,
join us.
He's a very smart man. He would be able to add a lot of substance to this.
He would, even if he doesn't think he could.
But he's also a little crazy, so he would definitely show up as a Betazoid. Definitely, maybe.
I mean,
it would not be off the realm of possibility.
You know, yeah. I don't even want to say anymore about that.
So, on that note, you know, sometime in the future, Star Trek themed formal wear party.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I will let you know the time and place as soon as I,
You bring the Romulan ale.
I will absolutely tie pantyhose around my shoulders and a makeshift harness.
Well, someday we'll have a fan appreciation get together.
That's right, and dress up as your favorite weird Star Trek alien uniform thing.
Except for Betazoids.
Except for Betazoids. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus.
And a Happy New Year, because this will be the last Star Trek Next Generation episode of the year 2018. The next one will be on January 4th of 2019, when you can join us for episode 22 of Star Trek The Next Generation, or on January the 2nd, 2019, with episode of the Orville. I can't remember which number it'll be at that point. 8 or 9? 7? 8? 8? 8? 9?
Numbers.
One of those numbers.
It is episode numbers.
All right, damn it. Okay, so this one, we just released episode 5 on the 12th. So the 19th will be 6, 26 will be 7, and then the 2nd will be episode 8. Okay, so episode 8 of the Orville, January the 2nd.
Yeah.
Right.
Look forward to it. My brain hurts.
Good night, everybody.
I'm leaving.
Good night, everybody.
What
Don't do drugs.
happens to me?